Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego live here in the Panhandle of Florida, in near Pensacola, eastern Pensacola, north of Navarre Beach, and we are going live to answer your questions regarding K1 visas or CR1 visas, but primarily K1 visas. We are in the same boat as you guys. We're waiting and waiting and waiting for our K1 visa to get adjudicated at the Service Center in beautiful California, Surf City, California. And Karina is in Bogota, Colombia. Now, Karina is originally from Caracas, Venezuela. And right now she's in Bogota watching the live stream. She sent me a message. She said, "Hey, it's almost 5 o'clock." And I said, "Okay." And boom, I'm live for you guys. So every Sunday at 5 p.m., we do this 1 hour and 30-minute live stream for you guys to help you get through this difficult, strenuous, long, patient waiting K1 visa process. Now, the K1 visa, in my opinion, is the way to go. It's a little more easier to process than the CR1. Some folks they prefer to go through the spousal visa. I've seen people wait 6, 8 months for their K1 visa and get angry that they're sick of waiting, so they go get married, and then they go to the back of the line and they got to wait again. It's crazy, but hey, that's okay. And we got Archer. Hello, Mr. Diego. Hello, Archer. How are you? And folks, don't forget to remind me which country you're watching us from, because I have a good memory, but it's not Superman memory. And I love to be reminded of where you are watching us from, which country in the world. And it's a big world. There's hundreds of countries, and we are watched in over 100 countries. And Ancor is watching us from Algeria, beautiful Algeria, in there, right there. Now, I've been past Algeria. I've never actually been into Algeria. And Chopper Harley said he just received his NOA2. What documents should I be getting ready next from the USA? Chopper Harley, congratulations on your NOA2. Now, your beneficiary is going to need to take to her face-to-face visa interview a signed original USCIS form I-134 filled out by you, your financial statement. You're going to need to get to her the 3 years worth of tax transcripts, 2020, 2021, 2022. You're going to need she's going to need to bring her original birth certificate with a certified translation. She's going to need to bring photos of you guys' relationship, as many photos as you can with the date and the persons in the photos and where the pictures were taken. You're going to need to get a copy of your 1040s if you have them, your W-2s, your 1099s. And I've made a video about this, guys, what to bring to the visa interview. So go page down, page through the videos and find that video. It's more in depth. Okay. Manpreet Singh watching us from Palo Alto, California. Palo Alto, California. And Archer M just gave Chopper Harley his congratulations from Algeria. So our friends in Algeria are congratulating Chopper Harley in the United States for his NOA2 letter. Cecilia Gomez, ¿cómo estás? How long do you think it'll take this year for K1 visas, since it's speeding up this year? Well, it's going to be 12 to 13 months in 2023, but starting in October, it's going to be between 6 to 8 months for a turnaround. Okay, so folks who are filing now are going to probably wait a year or less, but folks who file after October of 2023 will wait 6, 8, 10 months. Janiela James, I just reached 14 months. Okay, you're at the finish line, Janiela. Janiela James, you're going to get your K1 visa NOA2 letter probably, let's say this week. Let's say next week you get it. Or in 2 weeks, max. Okay. Chopper Harley, let's see, I used the Spanish group for translation. Yep, Spanish group is who we use Fantastic company in California. Dejalal Kralua. Hello, Diego. Well, hey there, my friend. Quico Fordewa. Hello, Diego. Love from Ghana. Beautiful Ghana. Ghana is in beautiful South America, east of Venezuela, and where Karina's from. Karina's from Venezuela, but she lives in Colombia. We love our friends in Ghana. Let me see here. Daja Krelo, did you get some idea to apply from Qatar? Qatar, yeah, I've got a video. I'm going to make a video. I've got a list of stuff here to do on Qatar. So hang in there, guys. It takes me 6 to 8 hours to put together a video. Remember, I got to research it, make sure there's no errors. Then I got to videotape it. Then I got to edit it. Then I got to chop it. Then I got to edit again. And then I have to upload it into YouTube and then make sure everything's good. It takes a bit of time. But be patient, okay? So Qatar is on my list. Don't worry, I didn't forget about you. I make notes. Cecilia, after October 23rd, 6 to 8 months. Yeah, you're right. No problem, de nada. Farah and Dekan, we highly appreciate you, Diego. Wishing you and Karina. Now, Karina's watching in Colombia, so I'll translate it for you. I'll translate it. That Farah, mi amor, mi Karina en Bogotá. Farah, mucho gracias para videos. I got my NOA 1 on January 3rd. What do you think we'll receive our NOA 2? You're probably going to get it by this year, probably by December, November, December, somewhere in there. January 2024, the latest. Farah and Dekan, also thank you for bringing so much joy, kindness, and humor. Well, yeah, this K1 visa process isn't supposed to be a miserable, horrible, nasty experience, okay? But, so you will never have any negativity on this channel, because at the end of this process, everybody watching this, you guys are going to be married to your beneficiaries and sponsors. You're going to be in America, starting your lives together in USA, wherever that is, California, New York, Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina. I'll run the analytics because I got a list of what states are watching us, okay? And so we appreciate you guys watching the videos, and we will help you get through this process. It's not supposed to be a horrible process, but, you hear a lot of horror stories. Oh, my visa got denied because of this. Well, yeah, because the person's visa got denied because they didn't meet face-to-face within 2 years, or they forgot to sign the visa form, the paperwork, or, they absolutely positively were not qualified to apply for the visa at that particular time. But people think, well, maybe immigration will give me a break. No, they won't. Immigration don't give people breaks if you're not qualified, okay? Now, if there's a little error, there's a little boo-boo in the paperwork, there's an error, okay, they give you a chance to fix it. But, make sure you get it. Make sure you get a good visa package put together before you submit it. And Jalal, actually, I did talk to my lawyer for my denial. He told me reapply this time will be approved. Yeah, absolutely. I'm confused, Little. I went spazzle this time. What do you think? No, you're good. Reapply. You are qualified for the visa. You just made a boo-boo when you applied the first time, okay? And immigration are blocked. They're mandated by the U.S. Congress. The U.S. Congress controls this whole process. It's a law, immigration law, the Immigration Nationality Act, okay? So if you're not in compliance with the law, then USCIS, as much as that person would love to approve your visa, that person's probably crying, I can't approve this visa. It's because they got to follow the law. If they don't follow the law, they get fired. They'll lose their job, okay? And they could be prosecuted also. So make sure, guys, before you file your K1 visa, make sure you qualify for the benefit, and make sure you have put together a very, very, very good visa package with no errors. No, I'm sure, my visa package I put together for Karina, I bet you it's not 100% perfect. There may be an error in there. It could be, okay, but I am very confident that if there is, immigration will send me an RFE. Oh, Diego, you forgot this. Well, you didn't do this. Oh, we need to see. Okay. Okay, but I qualify for the visa. Okay. Now my visa may take a little longer to process because, I'm in my second K1 visa. This is my second one. So they may have to go through jump through a bunch more hoops. They're going to have to investigate me a lot more because I'm in my number 2 K1 visa. So they're going to make sure that I'm legally and officially divorced from my first K1, that she has returned back to her home country, that I waited 2 years before I applied for a second K1. All these hoops, they're going to check it. They're going to check it. I don't mind. Let them check it. I'm good. Daniela, I'm scared now that he said after waiting so long. And Zoila, thank you for all your information provided to us. No, I'm glad to help you. Daniela, don't be afraid of immigration and don't be scared of a wait time. No big deal. Wait it out. Be patient. Just hang in there. Make sure to put the letter U. Make sure you put the letter you got from USCIS that show the reason of denial on your new package. Yeah. If your visa was denied in the past, okay, because of a boo-boo, not because you're not qualified, but because you made a mistake, you gotta tell when you refile your second K1 visa, you gotta explain in there the reason why you're filing a second time. For example, you write a letter to USCIS, dear USCIS, Louisville, Texas. I am reapplying for my K1 visa because I did not meet the requirements of meeting my fiance within 2 years the first time I applied. So I'm reapplying to comply with the immigration law, which says I got to meet my fiance face to face 2 years before I send the package. Boom. That's it. Immigration will read the letter that you signed and dated, and they're going to go, okay, well, now he qualifies for the visa. Boom, you're approved. Just make sure you resubmit everything you submitted on the first package, plus anything else, plus the boarding passes, the passport stamps, the photos of you guys being together, receipts, dinner receipts. You buy your fiance, dinner at a restaurant in her country. Karina and I, we go out to eat a lot. We like to try different restaurants in Bogota, and I keep the receipt. I pay with my credit card, and I recommend if you use a credit card if you're overseas, get a credit card that doesn't charge a financial transaction fee. Okay, if you use a credit card that hits you up with a financial transaction fee, you're going to get billed. You're going to get billed twice. My credit card with my bank does not charge me a financial transaction fee. So when I use my credit card in Bogota is like being in New York City, except everybody's speaking Spanish. I got a record of me being in Bogota with Karina. Let's see. So James, relax on your second one, okay? Just don't worry, you're good. Everybody's going to be fine. How was the interview? How long? Well, a K1 visa interview usually would last you from 5 minutes to 20 minutes, depending on the country. Depending on the country you're in. Like if you're in if you're in an embassy with a lot of people trying to get their visa done, it may be just a 10-minute thing. Okay. If you submit a strong visa package, the USCIS sends it to the MVC. The MVC sends it to the embassy. The embassy has already checked you out before you do your face-to-face interview, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. When Karina goes to her face-to-face interview at Bogota, Colombia, at the U.S. Embassy in downtown Bogota, the immigration officer will already have examined all the stuff that I sent to the lockbox in Dallas that went to California. They'll examine it probably an hour or more, even more before they do the face-to-face. And then when you fill out the DS-160, okay, DS-160 is when you're going to add more information. That's the application for the visa, Mr. Beneficiary. When you go into your face-to-face interview, if you see the immigration officer at the computer typing and reading, relax, don't panic. They're just reviewing your DS-160. That's all they're doing. And you're good. 5 minutes, boom, there's your visa. And then you have to wait for your visa to get embossed. So it takes about a week, depending on the embassy. Probably take about a week to 10 days for Karina to get her visa put in her passport. And I'll be on vacation in Bogota with her, waiting for the passport to return to the pickup point. Uh, Chopper Harley, Capital One is great for overseas. Capital One, there you go. Capital One is a good idea. No financial transaction fee. 66. Hi Diego from Paris, France. Bonjour, 66. Bonjour. I received my NOA1 in January, but didn't translate my birth certificate from French to English. Okay, now that's okay. Okay, now here's what you do, 66. You now get your birth certificate translated by a certified translator from French into English. Get it done, and then have it ready for your face-to-face visa interview. Because when you go to the face-to-face visa interview, you will have to have translated documents. If your birth certificate's in French, it's got to be translated into English, and it's got to be by a certified translator. Have it with you for the visa interview. Okay. Don't worry if you didn't include it in your K1. If it wasn't included in the K1 visa package, now it's preferable that it is. But it's not going to block your visa. It's not going to deny you a visa. You're going to be fine. Just make sure you got it ready for the embassy. Okay. You got that, 66? My French, I can't speak French. I can tell it in Spanish, but my French is just horrible. But I've been to France probably 12 times. I love beautiful France. I've been to Paris. I've been to Marseille. I've been to Dunkirk. I've been to Cherbourg. I took a bullet train from Marseille to Paris. Beautiful train. It was fast too. Boom, I get on the train in Marseille, and next thing I know, I'm in Paris. I'm walking around Paris. What beautiful city. You have a beautiful city, 66, in Paris. Farah Andikan, I have another question. I was married and had gotten my ex citizenship. Okay. It was marriage done in good faith, but I believe he committed marriage fraud. Okay. Will my K1 visa application be affected? No. Farah, not at all. You are allowed 2 K1 visas. Now, if this is your third K1 visa, you're going to have to get a waiver from USCIS. But if this is your second K1 visa, you are not classified as a multiple filer, so you're good. First one didn't work out. No matter what the circumstances were, it didn't work out. So long as you guys are divorced, you have a final divorce decree, you're fine. You're good. Not a problem. It's not your fault, right? Wasn't your fault. So you're good. Relax. You're allowed to. Excuse me. I got allergies living in Florida right here. I got trees all around. And the allergies, this time of year in the springtime, whoo, they're killer. So Farah, you're good. No, Farah, don't worry. Forget about the past, okay? Focus on your new K1 visa, your new one. Boom, you're fine. Zoila Molina, I am from Florida and my fiance is from India, waiting for our date of interview. Okay, so you're going to have the visa interview for a K1 visa in Mumbai. Mumbai, India is where all K1 visas are adjudicated, okay? So you just got to keep getting in there and look in and wait and see if you can get your visa interview. Beautiful India. That's a big country. Ooh, well, you got the Ganges River. Beautiful country. Lots of people. And yeah, he or she's going to love Florida. It's hot. It's hot here in Florida. Diego, how USCIS take cases speed from country to other? So what you're talking about, Zoila, is if you want to transfer your case from one embassy to another. Well, if you do that, you like for example, Sudan right now. Sudan, you got the Sudanese army fighting the Sudanese paramilitary. Khartoum, if anybody's watching from Sudan, we hope you're fine over there. But people in K1 visas in Sudan, the U.S. Embassy in Khartoum basically shut down, and everybody's hiding under their desks so they don't get hit by missiles and incoming missiles. So pretty much K1 visas have shut down processing in Sudan. So my recommendation to the folks watching us in the Sudan is, if you can safely get out of Sudan, relocate to another country, and then notify the National Visa Center where you're at so that they can relocate and resend and reschedule or schedule your visa interview in a different country. I think Sudan is in East Africa. Sudan is in a big problem right now. The embassy's not doing anything. They're hiding from incoming missiles. Nothing's going on in Sudan other than personal safety. Hide in place, shelter in place. But you can remove your visa embassy interview from one country to another. You just got to make sure that you let the NVC know your new location, your new address, where you are, and then when you fill out the DS-160, you put the new address and country. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. I have a visitor's visa appointment. Okay. Booking slots for fiancé visa. I'm debating whether I should attend the visitor's visa as my K1 petition is pending. Sure. If you can get a visitor visa B2 to come to the USA on vacation, go for it, man. Go. Great. Be great. Does the CALS 2020 for the K1 visa, does the sponsor need to be in 100% or 125%? 100%. You got to be at 100% for the visa interview. According to the U.S. State Department website, you have to be at 100% or above for the K1 visa interview. And then when you fill out your USCIS form, your USCIS form I-134, you're going to fill out your financial status, and it has to be greater than 100%. When you adjust the status to green card, that's when it has to be 125%. And if you don't quite make 125%, then you can get your assets in there, or use your assets, or you can get a joint sponsor, co-sponsor. Joe Atala, hello Diego. Is the embassy told us about which doctors approved for medical exam? Right. When your beneficiary needs to get his or her medical exam, the medical exam has to be done by a doctor, a civil surgeon that the U.S. Embassy has approved. You just can't go to your local doctor and say, hey, I need a medical exam. You can't do that. You have to go onto the U.S. Embassy website, okay, and look up approved civil surgeons. Find the names. Each country usually has 2 or 3 doctors which are approved by the embassy. And then you call that doctor and say, hey, I'm getting my K1 visa processing done. I need a medical exam. And then make sure you got your vaccination certificates. Okay, so there you go. Diego, let's see. Any update on Accra, Ghana? Let's see here. Ghana is processing visas. They're fine. They're processing visas. Kweku. Mr. Diego, would you please tell us more about USCIS processing March 2022? Okay. If you filed your K1 visa in March 2022, your NOA2 letters are coming in. They're coming in by the hundreds every day. March 2022 visas, NOA1 letters are now converting to NOA2 letters in April 2023. It's good. And I got a feeling that those folks with NOA1 letters receipt dated in April of last year, they're going to start seeing their NOA2 letters coming in towards the middle or end of May. That's how confident I am that USCIS is getting faster and faster. Let's see. Farah signing off. Okay, brother. Okay, Farah. We'll see you later. Thanks for checking in. Gary Higgins, thanks for your info. My question is, I'm an April 14th, 2022 filer and starting the I-134. When I finish, in your opinion, what's the fastest way to send to the Philippines from Atlanta? Gary, before you fill out your I-134, make sure you check the edition date on that form. Make sure it hasn't expired by the time you get to send it to the Philippines. Okay? And the fastest way to send it to the Philippines is using, I would use DHL or FedEx or UPS. I would use DHL. DHL is used by the United States government. The U.S. State Department have a contract with DHL to send K1 visas from the MVC to embassies all around the world. So I would use DHL, okay, to be sure that she gets it. I'm not sure which part of the Philippines that she lives in. Does she live in Manila, Cebu, I don't know. Where does she live? Where are you going to send the package to? You know, where are you going to send it to? Make sure that she's able to get it. Me personally, when I get my NOA2 letter, I'm going to wait about 2 weeks to a month. Then I'm hopping on a plane to Colombia, and I'm going to start doing the I-134 paperwork in Colombia on my laptop. That's what I'm going to do. But the Philippines is a lot further to go, so I know it's a long way for you to fly. So it's probably not as easy to do that, and it's probably 3 times as expensive for the plane ticket. Janiela, can you do Jamaica approvals? Jamaica, sure. Yeah, I can do Jamaica. Let me write that down, because Jamaica, I love Jamaica. Beautiful country, beautiful people. Excellent idea. Archur, our prayers for our brothers and sisters in Sudan. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Sudan is in a rough spot right now. You got the army fighting the army. And the U.S. Embassy in Khartoum shut down. They closed down. And they're hiding. The Marines are protecting the doors. You know, they're protecting the front. Visas are not processing in Sudan right now. I'll make a video about it. Okay? But guys, you know, people in Sudan, my advice to them, if they're able to see this video, would be to relocate to another country, cross the border, go to Kenya. You know, I don't know. How long is Nigeria taking for interview appointments? Well, BXX, it depends on which month and which time of the year. It's hard to answer that question, but it's between 2 to 4 to 6 months, depending on the time of the year and their busy schedule. Okay. Some months they're not busy, some months they're busy. So it's tough. I got the same question. How long is it taking the U.S. Embassy in Bogota to process a K-1 visa? I don't know. It depends on the time of the year. A month to 6 months is what I'm thinking for all embassies around the world, except for Mexico. It seems to be a longer lead time in Mexico for some reason. Kellon de Adams, good evening. Hello, good evening, Kellon. Cal 2020, thank you, Diego. Not a problem. BXX, we got approved from USCIS, but waiting on MVC. How long does that take? It takes between 2 weeks to 3 months. 2 weeks to 3 months. At the 3-month mark, if you haven't heard from the MVC, you need to contact USCIS. That's when I advocate getting in touch with them. When you have been waiting long enough, okay? But between 2 weeks to 3 months, depending on how busy they are. Joe Atala, thank you, sir, for all the information and help. Not a problem. I'm in the same boat as you guys. So is Karina. Karina right now is in Bogota, Colombia, watching this live stream from our apartment way up in the Andes Mountains. And she's watching. So everybody say, hello, Karina. Hola, Karina. ¿Cómo estás? Te amo, mi amor. Te amo. Te extraño muchísimo. Karina's watching right now, okay? We're in the same boat, guys. BXX, I just found your videos today, Mr. Diego. What are your credentials? Are you a lawyer? I am not a lawyer. I have been through this process once before. I have years of experience. I've got K-1 visas approved. I got a CR1 visa approved. I got an IR1 visa approved, a K2 visa approved. And now I'm going through the process again. And if you look at the introduction of our YouTube channel, it's your YouTube channel. If you read in the YouTube channel introduction, it identifies that we are not immigration attorneys at all. So that's a good question, though. So my credentials are experience and success. Success in the past and going through every kind of hoop. I've waded across every kind of ocean there is to wade across in the K-1 visa process and overcome this problem, that problem, and I know how to do it. So I'm just sharing my personal experiences. And like I said, if you check out the YouTube channel, what is this YouTube channel about? It's about our experiences processing our K-1 visa to help you. And I put a disclaimer in there that I'm not an immigration attorney. I'm a real estate agent and a YouTuber now, apparently. I'm into real estate. Yeah, Joe Itali, you got it. Yeah, I sell houses, businesses for a living. But right now I'm making YouTube videos for you guys. It's more important. And when Karina gets here, okay, we'll continue with the channel because we want to continue to help people. We know how important it is. We know how important it is. But for disclosure and full disclosure, I put it on the YouTube channel introduction right there. What's this YouTube channel about? Well, I put in there, I'm not an attorney. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't play one on TV. Let's see. Cecilia, I got receipt in December 2022. When will I get my K1 visa? It depends on how busy the embassies are. It depends on how busy MVC is. How busy is USCIS? Each month, USCIS receive thousands and thousands of K1 visas. Right now, today, well, not today, but tomorrow, Monday, the 17th of April, 2023, USCIS will probably receive anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 K1 visas at the lockbox in Dallas. And then they have to process NOA1 letters. It's a lot of work, guys, so it's hard to really say. You just got to be patient during this process. Just be patient, okay? Cecilia, Dominican Republic. Oh, yeah, Dominican Republic. Beautiful Dominican Republic. Cecilia says, hola, Karina. Zoila, hola, Karina. Karina, yeah, she appreciates that. She'll understand you if you write in Spanish. Remember, Karina cannot speak English, but I'm going to teach her, and she's definitely learning. Actually, I wait for your videos updates every day. Thank you, Mr. Diego. Your videos really help me waiting, and I'm sure everyone here feels the same. Yeah, we're making the videos for you guys. It's your channel, and we want to help you get through the process. We want to be company for you. We want to be your voice. USCIS. You get frustrated because USCIS don't respond to your questions. You're trying to call them. You email them. They don't respond. Why not? They're busy. They're busy processing visas. So I created the channel so that you guys could call me or message me, in the channel, in the YouTube channel, ask me your questions, and I'll respond to you within, 12 to 24 hours, usually quicker. I don't let you hang. I'm not going to make you wait for an answer to a question. Okay, I'll answer everybody's questions, and it's important. And we got through. And then in the past, some people did super chats. And in the future, if anybody does a super chat like over $10, now I'm not saying you have to do a super chat, but I want to give you something. If you do, we're going to get you these Colombian fridge magnets. We'll send it to you if you give us a super chat over $10. That covers the postage and the price and the shipping. But you don't have to super chat. That's just if you do. Okay, and that's for you too. That gives you something back from Colombia. How about that? Diego, when I reapply, my K1 is take our case from beginning, or they speed up because they already have our files. If you reapply, you're starting over from scratch. Okay? You're going to start over from scratch. If you reapply for a new K1 visa, you start from A, and you're going to go through Z. Okay? But they will have your information on file, definitely, and they'll look at it and they'll make sure that, you're not, basically, they'll see the mess up, if there was a mess up, and they'll say, okay, he made a mistake. Continue on. Press on for a new K1 visa. Does USCIS take the weekend off? USCIS does not work on Sundays, but the embassies work on the weekends. There are embassies all around the world that work Saturdays and Sundays processing visas. Like the embassy in Bogota work on the weekends. According to the ambassador, when he did his news conference with the folks from the State Department, he said that they're working on the weekends. But that's the embassy in Colombia. I don't know about other countries, but USCIS will probably not work on Sundays, but they work Saturdays. They have to. They'll be overwhelmed with. They'll continue to be behind if they don't play catch up. Okay, so you guys understand. Zoila. Oh, thank you. Thank you for speaking in Spanish to Karina, Zoila. Muchas gracias. Karina, sí. Karina, entiendo. Let's see here. Yeah, it's great to have you guys watching the show from all around the world. Okay. And every time I do a live chat, somebody learn something new about the K1 visa process that they may not have learned or knew about in the past, and it helps them understand this process a little more easier, because a lot of folks, they'll submit a K1 visa and then they get angry and frustrated because immigration don't contact you for a long time, and folks feel like they're being ignored. Well, immigration, once you get your NOA1 letter, you're not being ignored by immigration. Your stuff is in queue, okay? It's in queue. It's like you got this big pool table. You got all the balls up here on the front of the pool table, and the immigration is waiting to take that shot to bust up the queue, okay? But you got to wait your turn, and they're not going to contact you to let you know that, oh, by the way, we're still waiting for your visa to get in the queue. They don't have time, okay? They're too busy every day getting visas approved and NOA2 letters in the mail, okay? So they're busy people. So, it's not an easy process if you're not a patient person. Now, this is the second time I've been through it, okay? This is the second time. And I had, and actually, I went through the K1 visa process, and then then she went back to her home country, and then she wanted to come back to this country. So then I went through the CR1 process, and then the IR1 process, and then she decided she wanted to do that. And basically, that's when I did the paperwork to separate and get this done over with. And she's back home in her home country with her family. I went through this process. I went through a 3-year waiting game with immigration during COVID. It was horrible, okay? But I survived. I'm still here, and I'm in K1 visa number 2. Let's see here. I chose asking about Joe, asking did Giles reason why he was denied. Well, you didn't meet in the 2 years. The lawyer, okay, Dejao, it was the lawyer's fault. Well, you're responsible for your K1 visa, guys, not the lawyer. The lawyer is not responsible. Take responsibility, okay? Hang in there. You know the rules. And if you have a question about this process, ask me the questions. I know how to do it. Been there, done that twice. It's it's not easy, but it is what it is. And our NOA1 letter is dated April 18th, 2022. Today is April 16th. So in 2 days, we're going to hit the 1 year mark. Now, we do not count days, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We do not count days, okay? We don't do that. But we know on April 18th, it's going to be 365 days, right? Because a year passed. But after that, we're going to be counting months. So if it's taking 14 months, to process visas, K1s, then probably by the middle of June, we should get our NOA2 letter. But hopefully, the way things are going, hopefully we'll see a letter from immigration in the middle towards the end of May. But like I said, I'm not going to be calling immigration. Where's the visa? Where's our NOA2 letter? Where's it at? Where is it at? I'm going to leave them alone to do their job, and then we'll wait for our NOA2 letter. Now, today, I got on the phone to the IRS and I online on the phone, I did the automatic prompt to get my tax transcript for 2022. They sent me my tax transcript for 2020 and 2021. Then I paid my taxes on April 1st. Then I waited 16 days for them to get it all processed. I noticed in my checking account that they snatched the money out of my bank account, so the government's been paid their federal taxes. So then today I went in and did the touchtone, and I applied for my 2022 tax transcripts. So I got to wait for those now. Could be next week, 7 days, somewhere like that. Cecilia, make sure you guys meet before applying. Oh yeah. Cecilia, will my K1 be faster if processed at the end of 2020? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Will my K1 be faster if I process at the end of 2022 than those in 2023? Those who are processing visas in 2023, like right now, May, June, into the future, they're going to be a little faster, Cecilia, than you guys. 2022 visas are not as fast as those applying right now. Those applying right now probably get it done in 10, 12 months, maybe less, my opinion, the way things are going. Let's see here. I studied law, but I didn't finish. So I didn't like it. Oh, I don't blame you. Imagine I couldn't be an attorney and a lawyer. I couldn't do that. I have to know real estate law like the back of my hand. In real estate, selling a house, there's a lot of legalities involved. So I have to take a test every 2 years on Florida real estate law with the state of Florida to make sure that I understand the laws and legalities of selling houses and businesses in Florida. Every 2 years, I have to do that to keep my license active. So that's bad enough. That's bad enough. I couldn't be an attorney. Eric L, the lovely Karina. Yeah, Karina, she's lovely. She's a good person. Karina is a good person. She's rooting for you guys. She wants you guys to make it through this process with as little stress as possible, okay? She's waiting in Colombia. I'm here in Florida. Dejalao, Diego, we did write to Congressman for help. They help too much before we get our denial, but I hear that congressmen have no authority. No, U.S. Congress wrote the laws that USCIS follows. So USCIS follows congressional law. So yes, Congress does have authority over USCIS decisions. Absolutely. If your congresswoman or congressman says they don't have any authority over USCIS, that's a lie. And you need to fire that person and hire somebody new because Congress wrote the laws that USCIS has to follow. Miguel, are April cases being processed? No. But next month, or maybe towards the end of this month, who knows? Who knows? By April 20th, 25th, who knows? But in May, I got a good feeling that in May, we're going to see April 2022 K1 visas getting adjudicated, okay? Next month, in my opinion. But right now, I'm still zero right now. But that's okay. It's a 12-month window. Right now, we're at 12 months. At the 14-month mark, I'm going to be looking harder. We should be pretty close to getting our NOA2 letter. So no, Miguel, I have not seen any April cases being processed as of today, April 16th, 2023. But you never know. Tomorrow is a different day. Immigration's a fluid company. So who knows? You just got to hang in there, okay? Got to hang in there. So what else we got? Any more questions? And I'm going to make some videos on Morocco. Okay, these are the countries I'm going to make videos on what this processing time is, what the statistics are for 2022, and what's the visa processing. I'm going to make videos on Morocco, Sri Lanka, Qatar, Indonesia, the Netherlands, Georgia, Republic of Georgia, and now we have Jamaica. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 countries that I'm going to make videos on. K Messenger, thank you for your great efforts and follow-up. Not a problem. If I can help you answer your questions here, rather than you trying to get in touch with USCIS and getting angry and frustrated, I can answer the questions a lot quicker. Okay. Sure. I see the 13th, 25th, 1st March. Why don't they process an order? Well, everybody's visa is different, Archer. My visa is different from your visa. My visa may take a month longer to process than somebody else's in April 18th, 2022, because I got a lot of stuff to look at. Can you do Russia too? I made a video about Russia in the past. But I can do it. I can redo Russia and I can do an update on Russia. But you got to remember, the U.S. Embassy in Moscow is not processing visas right now. Okay, E. So if you live in Russia, now we love our people. We love the Russian people. We love the Ukrainian people. Okay, the Russians and Ukrainian people, in my opinion, They don't want to fight each other. They're brothers and sisters. It's the governments that are fighting each other, right? So, but unfortunately, it's the people that suffer for the government. So the U.S. Embassy in Moscow is no longer open for processing visas. But if your beneficiary lives in Russia, he or she can, if she can get a Schengen visa to get out of Russia and go to Europe, in the EU country, get into an EU country, or South America. If you have a Russian beneficiary, put her on vacation, send her to Peru or Argentina or somewhere on vacation, and then she stays there, and then you relocate her to Argentina and process the visa there. Okay, but Russia is shut down right now, and it's sad. All the McDonald's closed. All of the Western companies pulling out of there because of it's sad. It's sad. Okay. Let's see. Shashank Saxena, we have to schedule a OFC, an in-person interview in India, and while trying to determine which dates work best, the system stated that you used your maximum attempts for the day. Well, if you maxed out, then you got to try the next day. You got to wait for 24 hours to pass, and then go back and reapply. Okay, wait that 24-hour time clock. Sure, you're better than USCIS when it's about answering questions. Well, here's the thing. I read the instruction booklet on how to process K1 visas, and I read every law, I read every rule, and I checked it and studied it and learned it before I filed my first K1 visa. So now doing the second K1 visa, to me, is piece of cake. It's easy for me to say because I know how to do it, but a lot of folks don't know how to do it, and they're getting all this conflicting information from attorneys saying, "Oh, it's difficult. We'll do it for you." And all they do is fill out 13 pages of paperwork and put a visa package together. It's not hard. You just got to know what to do and what not to do. And that's why I put the channel together for you guys. And I can respond to your questions a lot quicker than immigration can. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help, dear Diego. Dejalao, no problem. We're here for you. We're going to pull you over the finish line. We're going to grab you by the back of your belt and pull you over the finish line, get you on an airplane to the United States of America. And Ghana. I did a video on Ghana, Kwiku. I think I did, but I'll write Ghana down again. But I think I did Ghana in the past. Any statistics, K1 visas in Bolivia? Bolivia is, let me see. Bolivia is on my 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not country number 5 on my list of countries. So I'll make a video about Bolivia probably in the next couple of days. So no problem. Alexia. Hi, Mr. Diego. Esperando su aprobación. Sí, yo entiendo. Muy rápido, Alexia, muy rápido. No preocupes, okay? No preocupes. Relaja. Tu mente calma. Try to do likes for this beautiful video. Oh, thank you, Jalal. I appreciate that. Yeah, when you hit, I don't ask people to like or subscribe to the channel. This is your channel. But when you do, what it does, it helps the algorithm, which means other people will get to see it in their YouTube feed. Okay. And then if people are working on a K1 visa and they may not have seen this channel before, if it gets a lot of attention on the likes, it doesn't help me at all. It helps you guys because it helps other people find the video. I'll check into Ghana, Kwiku. Don't worry. I love Ghana, beautiful country. Let's see, Russia. Yeah, Russia. The embassy in Moscow is closed, my friend. They're not doing anything except eating cookies and shopping in the mall in downtown Moscow. The embassy folks are not busy at all, and it's unfortunate, very unfortunate. And I got friends from Russia here in this town. Russian folks live up the street, and Ukrainians live down here, and they're friends, and they're like shaking their head, going, "What the heck?" It's crazy. But we got to make sure, that the folks in Sudan, we got to help those folks. I think I think I'll make a video about Sudan on what to do in this current situation that they're in. You know, there's always a solution to every problem, always. So yeah, everybody, um, you know, it's the K1 visa, in my opinion, is the best way to do this, not the spousal visa. The spousal visa would be for folks who may not quite meet the income requirements, or they live, or their fiance lives in the Philippines. That would be the way I would do a spousal visa. Nikao, Zoila, good luck good luck, everybody. Nikao, I want to know something. My cousin did his K1 just now. He provided engagement photos, 2 pages of call logs, flight information, as well as intent to marry. Is that enough proof? Yeah, that's plenty. That's perfect. Perfect. And then what immigration will do when they get it to adjudication is they'll scan it. They'll scan it into a disk, and then they'll send all that up to the NVC. They're doing stuff. They're scanning stuff now. In November of last year, the USCIS has started scanning documents rather than just looking at it and mailing it off in envelopes to the National Visa Center. Now they're scanning the information. So that's fine. E, thank you for your help. Not a problem. Not a problem. Okay. If you're in Russia right now and you're trying to get a K1 visa, my advice is get a Schengen visa, get the heck out of Russia, go on vacation somewhere, and then set up residence and domicile in a new country. I know it's expensive, but it's temporary. Okay. It's only temporary. As much as you love your country, Russia, I love Russia. Beautiful country. But in this current situation with the political climate we're in, and you want to come to the United States, your visa is not going to be blocked because you're from Russia. It just means you can't get it adjudicated at the embassy in Moscow. Go to Poland, go to South America, go on vacation somewhere, you know, and then set up shop there. Have your sponsor get you relocated out of Russia. And same for the Ukraine. And our friends in Iran too. People from Iran, we love the people from Iran, okay? They watch this channel. And, our government doesn't get along with the Iranian government, okay? But that's not the people's fault, right? Now, my recommendation to our friends in Iran is relocate to another country. Go to Turkey. Turkey is a secular country. I just made a video about Turkey. Go to Algeria. Go to Egypt. Okay? Get out of Iran. Go on vacation to Belarus and stay there. The mosquito guy. Hello from Tampa Bay. Well, hello, Tampa Bay. How is it? It's a little warmer in Tampa Bay than it is here in Pensacola. Although Pensacola is down the road, I'm closer more to Navarre Beach. But it's hot and humid. And there was a big storm that passed through here yesterday. Woo! What a big storm. I don't know if it's gonna wipe out my lawn chairs or not. I made a little video I put it on my cell phone. I'll put it in a video. I'll make a video tomorrow and include the storm that hit the house. Let's see here. Susie Galdamez. Hello, Diego. Hey, Susie. How are you? Life in North Carolina. Hello. From Greensboro, North Carolina. Oh, yeah. Greensboro. Beautiful part of the country. North Carolina. Yeah. Beautiful. Dejal, we get 16 likes. Come on, guys. Thank you, Dejal. Come on. Yeah. Like. We need it. The mosquito guy. I'm preparing my K1 application. I've been divorced 3 times. Okay. Don't need to include. Don't need. Yeah, you do. If you've been divorced 3 times, you have to include 3 final divorce decrees in your K1 visa package. 3. You've been divorced 3 times. You need 3 divorce decrees, certified copies from the local courthouse or government office. And you got to include them in your K1 visa package. Definitely, they have to be included at the face-to-face embassy interview. Okay. Oh, excuse me, my allergies. When your beneficiary goes to the face-to-face embassy interview, she will have 3 divorce degrees in her hand, certified copies. Now, don't just print the top 2 pages of the divorce decree. You need the whole thing. The whole thing. 3 of them. All right. Susie, doing good. Nice to seeing you online. Thanks for checking in on the live stream, Susie. Alexa, I'm happy for you because 18 April is your date. Oh, we're happy too. 2 days from now, we're going to be at the 1 year mark. Bum, 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 but okay, we still have waiting to go. But it's no big deal. We wait. You know, we wait. We wait and we wait. And one day, Karina will get notification that she's got to go. We're gonna get our NOA2 letter. Susie, I got an RFE because I didn't send intent to get married letters. From now on, oh yeah, if you don't send, the legal document, you got to have 2 letters of intent to get married, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. One written by the sponsor, one written by the beneficiary. Now, Karina is from Venezuela and she lives in Colombia. Her native language is Spanish. She doesn't speak English. So she wrote her letter of intent to get married in Spanish. And then I translated it into English using a company called the Spanish Group. And then after that, we went down to Bogota, the local notary, and we got it notarized. It's extra evidence that we were in Colombia. So when I mailed, then I wrote my letter of intent to get married in English, okay, and signed it and dated it, and I addressed it to USCIS and in the Louisville, Texas. She did the same thing. In the letter of intent to get married, you must include that you are a U.S. citizen. Your beneficiary will identify her citizenship. She will identify her location. She will identify that she must promise in the letter that she will get married or he will get married to you, Mr. Sponsor, in 90 days upon entering the United States. And she will, or he will also include in there that she is legally able and free to get married. So when you put together your letter of intent to get married, you're basically signing a contract or a letter, a legal document to Homeland Security, promising them that when you get to the USA, you're going to marry your sponsor, U.S. citizen sponsor, in 90 days. And Karina wrote in her letter, I'm from Venezuela, but I'm a legal resident of Colombia. I'm legally free to marry, and I promise to marry Diego in 90 days upon arriving in the USA. And then she signed it and dated it. And then we included in there how we met, how our relationship grew. And then we got it translated into English. And then I got it notarized, and boom, that was it. Janiela, list of documents needed when the beneficiary gonna do interview in the foreign country. Yeah, put a cover sheet together. Achur, I wrote mine in English, not in my native language. That okay? Okay, Achur, if you speak English, and when you go to your face-to-face visa interview at the embassy, and the immigration officer can talk to you fluently in English, it's not a problem. But if you cannot speak English, like Karina cannot speak English, so just imagine if she wrote her intent to get married letter in English, then the immigration officer is going to expect her to answer all of her questions in English, but she can't, right? So she wrote it in Spanish, signed it, dated it. I translated it, notarized it. She's good to go. Let's see here. So yeah, you can write your letter of intent to get married letter in English, no matter what country you live in, if it's China, Algeria, France, Holland, Belgium, Ecuador, Peru, doesn't matter, as long as you can speak fluent English. Algeria. Yeah, Algeria, North Africa, beautiful, beautiful country. I've learned so much about, all these different countries by putting these videos together. And I got a list of countries we're going to go on vacation to. But I'm not going to take Karina once we get in the USA. We're not leaving the USA for a vacation outside of the USA until she's a U.S. citizen. When she has an American passport in her hand, then we're going to take a vacation. We're going to bounce around. We'll probably fly to Europe, And then, we're going to bounce around the world a little bit and travel to all these different countries that we've learned about. Sergio Molan, Diego, I'm Colombian and applying for the K1 visa. We already received the case, we accepted, and now waiting as we travel together. I find your content very useful. Sergio, so you're from Colombia. Now, are you a Colombian living in the United States applying for your K1, who your sponsor applied, or I'm not sure. You're Colombian. Mucho gusto, me alegra, es bueno. Colombia, tu país muy bonito, tu país hermoso. Yo exploración, Bogotá, Colombia, Cúcuta, Cartagena, Bucaramanga, todo. But my question is, Sergio, you're Colombian applying for the K1 visa. So are you an American citizen Colombian applying for a Colombian in Colombia? Be more specific. Hey, Diego, Fatuma. Hey, Fatuma, how are you? Fatuma's in the house. Actually, I met my fiance and we've been more than 3 years talking. We fell in love. We want to get married. We saw K1 visa is better than CR1. Algeria when it comes to papers and files. Yes, sir. Yes, Artur. Artur, the K1 visa is in my opinion, is the way to do this from my experience. Sergio, my fiance is American. I am Colombian, living in Colombia, currently traveling around Europe together. Oh, okay. Okay, Sergio, I entiendo. Yo entiendo. Gracias para la información. Okay, so Sergio, you're currently traveling around Europe, so you have a Colombian passport. Very good. I understand. Excellent. Let me know how your process goes, because Karina's in Colombia too. We'd be interested to know. It'd be interesting to see how your process goes. Vitor, I received FRE and RFE for my fiance. Forgot to put police record. Okay, it's a minor mistake. No problem. Just send it in, and the process will continue. Dejao, that's great. I wish you the best at your. May God bless you. I hope God blesses everybody in here. Everybody, God, the hand of God on top of everybody, or whoever you believe in. I want you to get your visas, okay? C, great content. What do you think the K1 processing times will be in 2024? I'm an American and soon to be fiance, lives in South Africa. Beautiful South Africa. Now, I've been to South Africa, and by 2024, the visa turnaround time will be 6 to 8 months from NOA 1 to NOA 2, and then probably 2 to 3 months from MVC to the embassy in South Africa. I believe the embassy is in Cape Town or Johannesburg. I made a video about South Africa, but I can't remember if the embassy for K1 visas is in Cape Town or Johannesburg. But I made a video about it. Let's see. Good luck to everybody. Sergio Milan, absolutely, Sergio. And are you living in Bogota? Where do you live? Which part of Colombia do you live in? I've traveled all around Colombia. I've covered every inch except probably the southern part near Ecuador. Daniela, does USCIS work on the weekends? They work on Saturdays, but I don't think they work on Sundays. I really don't think they work on Sundays, but the embassies are open on Sundays. Take a lot of pics, Sergio. Oh yeah, get lots of pictures in Europe with your fiance. Perfect. Lots of photos, and don't forget on your photos, you got to put who's in the picture, the date the picture was taken, and where the picture was taken. That's very important. Okay, very important. Fatuma, are April cases being processed? No, not yet. Not yet. Next month, the end of May, middle of May, I bet you, April cases will get starting to be processed. The people that got NOA 1 letters in the first week of April, April 1 through April 10, let's say, I bet they start seeing their visas, the NOA 2 letters coming in towards the end of next month. So, you got to remember, USCIS has just hired 4,000 new people to overcome this backlog. There was 500,000 people sitting in limbo waiting for a visa process, whether it's CR1, IR1, K1, K2, K3. There was 500,000 people a year and a half ago sitting in limbo with nowhere to go. So the first thing immigration had to do was hire new people to clear out the backlog of the 500,000 people, which they've done. They're down to a backlog now of about 55,000, 50,000, 40,000 people, which is a lot better than 500,000, which means that K1 visas, instead of being processed in 18 months, are now being processed in 13 to 14 months. 14 months is about the average. But by October of this year, USCIS will start fiscal year 2024, and then you're going to see visas getting turned around, processed within 6 to 8 months. Okay? Now, I'm taking the word of the director of USCIS. I believe it when she says that she'll do that, and she's done a great job up to this point, getting all this backlog cleared out. You know, she not only has to overcome the backlog of visas, she's had to put up with lawsuits filed against her by people because they're upset their visas are taking too long to get processed. She's got to deal with lawsuits. She's got to deal with people quitting. Somebody at USCIS goes to, I can't work anymore. I can't handle the stress, so I quit. Think about all that kind of stuff. And in our minds, all we really focus on is, where's my NOA-2 letter? When am I going to get my visa interview? When is the embassy going to schedule, or can I schedule my visa interview? Everybody's mindset is on their mind, but on their visa, on their individual visa. But imagine a football stadium. Imagine yourself at a soccer game at the FIFA World Cup, and Colombia is playing Peru. And that stadium is filled with 60,000 people. That's how many people immigrate. That's how many visas, a month that immigration is getting to look at, plus process the ones that are already backlogged from October, November, December, January of 2021, 2022. Think of yourself at a FIFA World Cup soccer game. And I'm going to use I'm going to use soccer, football as an example, because most folks watching this channel are from Europe or from South America or from Africa, and you guys can relate to football, not American football, which is totally different. So you guys just be patient. Okay, Janiela, when they're processing the files, after they receive, do they put it down on a shelf? Did they work on it slowly? Once they touch your visa package, they pick it up and they look at it. And if it doesn't require any work other than them looking at it, they touch it once, they approve it, and they ship it out to the National Visa Center, or they put it on a shelf in the queue to get mailed to the National Visa Center. They have a person that does the mailing. They got a person that does this. They got a person that does that. They got a person that does this. Okay. They'll touch it. They'll look at it. If it's no problems, if there's no errors, if everything checks out, if nothing was forgotten, if there's no RFEs, it's done. It's out of here. It's on the way to the National Visa Center. And then you get your NOA-2 letter. But if there's any mistakes in there, or if they're not quite sure, like if you forgot to put your letter of intent to get married in there, they're going to look through it. Where's the letter of intent to get married? It's not here. They'll put it on the shelf. Another person will come in and pick it up, and they'll look through it and say, yep, you're right. There's no letter of intent to get married. Then they send out an RFE. That's okay. An RFE is not a bad thing. If you get an RFE, it means that immigration is working your case. Then they'll probably, once you respond to the RFE, put the cover sheet on top, do exactly what they say, they'll receive it. Within 4 to 6 weeks, your visa gets approved, and boom, off to the NVC. No, they don't work on it slowly. Trust me. They don't. They want to get it done. They got to get it done. Basel, hello. Hey, Basel, how are you? Good to see you. Ray Ramirez. Hello, Diego. If the fiance visa in Mexico is speeding up? Yeah, Mexico. There's 2 places in Mexico where they process K1 visas. Mexico City and Sudan. And both embassies or consulates are getting people in the queue for embassy interviews. It was a 1.5 year wait for an interview. Now it's down to like 6 to 8 months, which is better than it was. And it's getting better and better as each month passes. So in May, it'll be even faster. So let's see here. Mexico is it's a little slow in Mexico, but just got to be patient. Okay, go on vacation to Mexico. Spend a month with your fiance. I'm gonna, when I get my NOA2 letter, I'm gonna wait a couple of weeks, make more videos for you guys, and then I'm gonna fly to Colombia and hang out with Karina and work from there. I can make a YouTube video from my apartment in Bogota using my laptop. So I can still make videos, and then Karina can be sitting next to me right here, and you can ask her questions in Spanish. So it's not taking a long time in Mexico, but it's taking longer than people would like. Cecilia, how long to get told you made a mistake? Okay, I understand. Once you get your NOA, if you get an NOA2 letter, you didn't make a mistake. But if you made a mistake in your visa package, that wasn't a major one, like you didn't forget to sign the form, but if you didn't include something, you wait 12, 13, 14 months, and after the 13, 14 month window, a person will look at your visa package and they'll go, okay, where's the letter of intent to get married? It's not here. Okay, boom, they send you an RFE. You respond to the RFE, you do the letter of intent to get married, like I explained it, and then you send it back, and then you wait 4 to 6 weeks, and then you'll get acknowledgement that your visa has been approved and on the way to the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. Eric E.L. What are the embassy wait times for the Philippines? My visa package just turned 10 months. Well, there is only one place in the Philippines where you have your K1 visa interviews for beneficiaries, and that's at Manila. And there is only one place in the Philippines that you can have your K1 visa medical exam, and that's at Luke Hospital. So remember those two things. Manila is where the American Embassy in Manila is where you do the visa interview for K1 and CR1, and Luke Hospital is where you get the civil surgeon to do the medical exam. And number 3, how long is it taking to get a visa interview? Well, May, next month, it's going to take a long time because May is the busiest month in the Philippines for visa processing. I look at the analytics and the data, and May is their busiest month. In January, they're not so busy. Well, if you're only at the 10-month mark, you still got a little ways to go, a few more months to go before your NOA2 letter. Okay, no problem. And once you get your NOA2 letter, it goes to the National Visa Center, then they send it to the Manila in a DHL courier. So you could have maybe a 4-month wait or a 6-month wait. It depends on how busy they are at the embassy. Not only is May the busiest month in the Philippines, it's also the hottest month in the Philippines. So if you're going for an embassy interview in May and you live in, let's say, Cebu, you got to get from Cebu to the Manila. And then from Manila, you got to go and get a hotel, I'm sure a couple of nights in a hotel. Then you go to your embassy interview. And it's hot outside. So bring water to drink. Make sure you're prepared for the hot weather. It's hot in the Philippines in May. Basel, tax transcripts or tax returns for embassy interview. Can I send copies of them? I downloaded from my account with IRS. Basel, here's my recommendation for taxes. Get your tax transcripts for 3 years. Which I just applied. I got 2 years of transcripts, and I got one more coming on the way. And I also have my 1040s for 3 years. I have my 1099s because I primarily get paid on a 1099, and I got W-2s from 2021 when I was working as a land surveyor. So I've got my 1040s, I've got my tax transcripts, I've got my W-2s from 2021, and my 1099s. And I got 3 separate folders, and I put them all in separate folders. And when I go back to Colombia, I'm going to give them to Karina so she has them to take to the embassy interview. So my recommendation is get the tax transcripts, the 1040s, if you can find them, and the W-2s and the 1099s, if you can find them. If you cannot find the 1040s, don't panic. The tax transcripts are just as good. Okay, tax transcripts are just as good. They're qualified. They don't need to be notarized because it's an IRS document that is recognized by immigration as a legal document. So you don't have to get them notarized or anything. All right. C, if the beneficiary previously filed the I-129F, the relationship broke off soon after, and the petitioner never canceled, will that impact any future applications? Here's what you do, okay? Now, the sponsor is the person that files the I-129F, not the beneficiary. You got to be a U.S. citizen and a sponsor. So if the sponsor in the past filed the I-129F for a beneficiary, and then you guys broke up, the sponsor needs to write a letter to immigration to withdraw the I-129F. Got to withdraw the case. So on the NOA-1 letter, there's an address from which service center the visa went to. So if it went to the service center in California, the first three digits or letters of your receipt number is going to be WAC. Look for the address to the service center in California. The sponsor or the beneficiary, either one, writes a letter to the service center. I wish to withdraw my petition for a K-1 visa. We are no longer in a relationship, and we have parted mutually and agreeably, and we are terminating the visa. Sign it and date it. Make a copy of that letter. Get a copy of the NOA-1 letter. Put it with that letter and mail it to the service center, and you're done. You withdrew the visa. So then in the future, you can apply for a second visa. The sponsor can apply. Look at me. I'm applying for a second one, but I had to put an explanation as to what happened to the first one. Have you ever filed for a K-1 visa in the past? Yes, I have. When was it? 2016. What happened? Didn't work out. Boom. Letter of explanation. I signed it and dated it. Immigration is fully clear and understanding what happened. Congressional law allows for 2 K-1 visas, so I'm not a multiple filer. Good to go. Let's see here. Gary Higgins, Diego, do you or did you step-by-step instructions on filling out the I-134? Yeah, I made a video on how to do that. I've made like close to 500 videos, my friend. So it's going to be in that list of videos somewhere. Maybe what I could do is make another video to update it. Let me make a note to do that. I-134 form. I can make a video. I can make a new video on how to do it. It's not a difficult form to fill out, but I can redo it. I did one in the past. You just got to find it. Zoila Molina, Diego, what about red flag? Can you explain about this, please? Okay. A red flag to immigration would be that here's an example of a red flag for a visa, for a K-1 visa. The sponsor chats to the beneficiary for a month, gets on a plane, flies to his or her country, gets pictures together, hotel receipts, passport receipts, boarding passes, flies back to the United States and files a K-1 visa, having met the person one time for a week and has known the person for 4 weeks to 2 months. That's a red flag. Immigration is going to say, how in the heck did this person get into a loving, caring relationship with this person in 2 months? That's a red flag. A red flag would be the biggest one, is the time. So if you notice, immigration time out the paperwork. The I-129F has an addition on it, and you make sure you file the right addition when you file your paperwork. And the addition will time out, and it will time out. That prevents people from fraudulent visa processing. Okay, it makes you wait. Immigration will force you to be in a real relationship, basically, by the way they set up this process. Okay, some people will file their K-1 visa on an expired form and it gets sent right back to them because they filled out the paperwork a year ago, and then they mailed it in. They pre-planned it. They redid it. They filled out the I-129F a year ago, put everything together, held on to it for a year, and then mailed it in. But I want the I-129F form changed in that year. There's a new addition. Immigration's going to get it and say, why did this person fill out this paperwork on an expired form? Why did they do that? Maybe it was sitting in their house for a year. Who knows? They'll send it back. So basically what a red flag is immigration looking for visa fraud. Okay, they're looking for visa fraud. And they got all kinds of tricks up their sleeve, which I support. I don't like people breaking our immigration laws because it hurts me and it hurts you guys who are doing it the right way. You want to be following the book, follow the laws of our country, and you want to do it the right way, and you guys are in a real relationship. And immigration are not trying to stop you from coming to this country. They want you to come here and start a new life with your sponsor, but they want to make sure that it's a real relationship. So they look for things called red flags. And that is an example of a red flag. There's other ones. There's others. My NOA-1 is from September 2022. This means I won't get my NOA-2 until November, September. No, not necessarily, GLK dog. Not necessarily. If you have a September 2022 K1 visa NOA-1 receipt date, and things are definitely speeding up at USCIS, you may hear something by September of 2023. I'm not making that a promise to you, but it's a good possibility. There's a good chance. Remember this chat. Remember this conversation. There's a good chance, okay, that you'll hear from immigration by the fall of this year. GLK dog. No, okay, thank you. Not a problem. Not a problem, GLK dog. We're here to help you. Okay. So, red flags are immigration's way of keeping everybody legal and above board and doing the right thing. Okay. Everybody follow the rules and be honest. If if immigration asks you for something, present it to them. Now, I saw one person, there was somebody, they had a minor criminal infraction, and they forgot to include it in their NOA-1, in their K1 visa package, something that happened like 30 years ago. It's not me, but somebody made a mistake in their life 30 years ago. Wasn't anything major, but it was resolved. Everything was resolved, but they didn't tell immigration about it. Immigration is going to find out what you did 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 5 years ago. So if you have a little minor infraction, if you have an infraction, any kind of legal problems in the past, write a little essay about it so immigration can see that you're being upfront about it. Don't hide it, okay? And now if you have a felony, a charge against you, or in the past that was to do with domestic abuse or violence against children, you will not get a K1 visa. You won't get one. Even if you hire an attorney, you won't get one. But if you've got minor infractions in your past, you stole a comic book from the store when you were 14 years old, but and then you went in front of the juvenile judge and he slapped you on the wrist and you paid the store for the comic book. Tell immigration about it, because even though the court said it's sealed and expunged, immigration can get it. Okay, the FBI can get whatever they want about you from the day you were born, Mr. American citizen, to right this minute. So if you have any minor infractions, law infractions, tell them about it. Okay. Now, if you got a speeding ticket, don't worry about it. A speeding ticket, no. But if you got a DUI, okay, you better tell immigration about it, no matter if it was 20 years ago. If you got a DUI 20 years ago, you need to include that court case, that information, what happened, how much was the fine, what was your punishment, include it in your K1 visa package. Will it block you from getting a K1 visa having a DUI? No. Having multiple DUIs, 3 or 4 DUIs, will that block you from getting a K1 visa? Yes, probably will. That's when you have to hire an attorney, if you can find an attorney that would want to take your case. But if you have any kind of infraction, just tell them about it, because they're going to find out. And if immigration find out that you had a DUI 10 years ago and you didn't tell them about it, guess what? Are they going to block your visa? No. They're going to send you an RFE. Where is the court case on this DUI you got 10 years ago? Then you're going to have to go hustle it up. And then you're going to that's going to put a 4 to 6, 8 week slowdown. Your K1 visa is going to grind to a halt when it doesn't have to. You could have told them about it and you wouldn't have got the RFE and your visa would have been approved. Petia Sipat watching from Indonesia. Beautiful Indonesia. Lots of islands in Indonesia. And on my list here of countries, I'm going to make a video about the embassy and all the good people of Indonesia. So we love everybody in Indonesia. It's a beautiful country. And you guys, you're close to Singapore, the Philippines, those folks out there. Thailand, we love our friends watching us from Thailand. We love our friends watching us from the Philippines, India, Nigeria, Dominican Republic. I hope I didn't forget anybody. There's over 100 countries. I should make a list of countries watching us so I can thank you all personally. And how's the weather in Indonesia? Is it nighttime or daytime? I don't even know. So anyway, I've been talking, folks. In 4 minutes, I'm gonna end the live stream. I'm gonna go make dinner. Probably cook some spaghetti for dinner. And tomorrow I'm gonna start making more videos on different countries around the world. Probably tomorrow I'll make a video for Morocco, Sri Lanka. Those are the next 2 on my list. But by the end in the next 10 days or so, I'm gonna get all these countries up and running for you guys to watch. It's now 6:26 a.m. here in Indonesia. Ooh, so you're complete opposite to us. I understand. Okay, well, thank you for getting up so early to watch us. Maybe I should do a live stream like around 2 o'clock in the morning one day. So guys around the world into the Philippines and Indonesia, Singapore, the Southeast Asia, Vietnam, those folks can watch the show in the daytime, not this early in the morning. Okay, guys, it's time for me to check out, log off, and thanks for watching. I'm here for you. Got any questions? Let me know. Thanks for your time too. We appreciate your time. Karina's watching from Bogota. She appreciates all your best wishes, and we will see you next Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time. And maybe I'll do one. Maybe I should do another live stream tonight at 2 o'clock in the morning for our friends in Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, etc., Singapore. I'll maybe do that. I might get up at 2 o'clock in the morning for you guys. All right. We'll talk to you later.